All right, team. Welcome. We're going to dive into something that might seem small, but it's honestly the secret sauce to how we operate here at Chef Ami. I'm talking about our labeling and identification system. And trust me, it's way more than just slapping on a sticker. This is step one for making sure every single ingredient is handled with total precision, speed, and care.
So you probably think labeling is simple, right? I mean, how tough can it be to put a sticker on a container? But honestly, there's a real science to it here. And getting this right, it's not just kind of important, it's literally the foundation for everything we do.
So what's the big deal? Why are we so intense about this? Well, it's all about making sure our packing team can fly through their work with 100% accuracy, all while keeping everything compliant with our super strict food safety or HACCP standards. Seriously, what you do right here, it's the very first link in a chain that leads straight to a happy customer. It all starts with you.
Okay, so how do we get to that level of perfection? It all begins before you even touch a single label. Let's walk through setting up your station for a killer shift.
Okay, before you start, there are 3 things you absolutely have to do, no exceptions. First, audit the lists. You're going to check the master list against the packing list for the day. No guessing games, okay? Second, you stage what we call the active bin. This means you grab only the sticker rolls for the current week. This little step prevents huge mix-ups later. And third, you sign the tracking sheet. This is all about ownership. From this moment on, you've got this.
All right, station's prepped. Now we're heading into what I call the no mistakes allowed zone. These are the critical match rules. And let me tell you, getting these wrong causes some serious problems for everyone. So let's really dial in here.
First on the list is the brand match rule. This is one of those tiny things that can have massive consequences. See, we've got these containers that look almost exactly the same, but they're not. They're not interchangeable. If you mismatch them, you're going to have lids popping off, sauces spilling everywhere. It can literally shut down the entire packing line. It's a huge deal.
So here's what you need to know. We use 2 main brands, Solo and Choice. And the rule is dead simple. Solo lids go on Solo cups, Choice lids go on Choice cups. That's it. How do you know? Just look for the logo on the bottom of the cup and on the lid itself. Make it a reflex. Always check before you stack.
Okay, next up is our second match rule, and this one is all about the Ziploc bags we use. We call it the P versus solid rule. Now, this isn't just picking any old bag. The bag you choose actually affects the food's quality and freshness, and it's key to preventing spills.
So, what's the difference? P stands for punched. Think of these as our breather bags. They have tiny little holes in them, so they're perfect for produce that needs some air. You know, like green beans or snap peas. Then you have the solid bags, no holes. These are for all our dry goods, powders, and grains. Think rice, powders, or grated cheese, stuff you absolutely have to keep contained.
And listen, I really need to hammer this point home. You can never use a pea bag for dry goods. Ever. I mean, can you just picture trying to scoop rice into a bag that's full of tiny holes? It would be a disaster. You're just guaranteeing a spill, and that's a total waste of product and time.
Okay, so you've got the matching rules down. Now, to make sure we catch any potential mistakes right from the get-go, we've got a built-in quality check. Think of it as our safety net. We call it the first 50 checkpoint.
50. That's the number. Not 49, not 51. 50. Once you've prepped your first 50 items, it's time for a quick pause. You heard me. After you've got those first 50 items labeled and ready to go, you stop. Just stop everything. Put down the label gun and call for a manager. It's a hard stop.
And what's the manager looking for? It's super quick, but it's so important. They're just going to double-check everything we just talked about. They'll confirm your brand matching, Solo on Solo. They'll check the bag type, is that produce in a pea bag? And they'll make sure the label is a perfect match for the packing list. This one simple check can save us from redoing an entire batch. It's a huge time saver.
Okay, once you get the thumbs up from your manager on that first 50 check, you're good to go. Now it's all about finishing the rest of the run with that same level of consistency and professionalism. So let's talk about what we call pro-level label placement.
This part's super easy to remember. For any container, like for sauces, the label goes right on the lid. For bottles, slap it on the body, right in the center. And for bags, you're going to put it in the middle on that flat space just below the zip part. Keeping it consistent like this makes it a breeze for the packing team to spot what they need instantly.
And hey, one last thing about placement, but it's a big one. Every single label needs to be applied straight. Look, I know a crooked label might not seem like a huge deal, but it just looks sloppy. At Chef Army, we have really high standards, and that professional look starts right here, with you. A perfect, straight label says a lot about the care we put into our work.
All right, we've gone through all the main rules, but you know how it is. There are always a couple of exceptions. So let's quickly cover those, do our final checks, and then we'll be all set.
So sometimes it's just as important to know when not to use a label. For example, whole uncut produce, like a bell pepper or a lemon, no label needed. It's obvious what it is. But, and this is the big one, our HACCP priority items, especially the vacuum-sealed proteins, are a different story. These must get a proper compliant label every single time. This is a critical food safety rule, and there are absolutely no exceptions.
And that's the whole system right there. See? Every single step we've just walked through, from setting up your station to that final placement, it's all designed for one thing: total precision. It proves that a simple sticker is never just a sticker. It's the beginning of a promise we make to our customers. So the real question is, are you ready to be the first step to a perfect delivery?